Yes, how you doing, beekeeping world? This is Farmer James. I'm out here enjoying a beautiful day in Vermont mountains. Temperature is 50 plus degrees, windy, and beautiful sunshine. And the bees are flying, and I'm letting you all get a glimpse of all of that, and also the mountain view. So yeah, this is the other side of the bee yard that you don't usually see. Yeah, there's my truck cap. But yeah, look at the bees. They're going crazy. So I'm going to go in these hives and I'm going to give a quick feed. I'm giving patties today. It's a good time to do that to help the colonies build up because I'm sure the queens are laying. If you see a lot of bee activity, as I'm seeing, as I'm stumbling, showing you. But long story short, look, if you see a lot of bee activity, then the bees are bringing in resources. They're not just gathering to talk to themselves about cleansing flights. So what I'm seeing right now is telling me I have brood. I have a lot of bee activity, and this isn't cleansing flight. This is foraging. So I got maple that has blossom. So they're getting pollen from maple. So they're probably already going through that sugar patties. I'm not going to add any more sugar patties. I'm going to add pollen patties. It's a good time to add pollen patties at least a couple weeks before before your bees seed on the trees. But they're telling me they sit on the tree, so I'm helping them out with that and keeping them built up. So I'm adding that pollen patties to keep them built up so that they can continue to grow. I'm leaving my wraps on the hives because I don't want the bees to stress out because the nights here are still getting pretty cold. And I don't want them to have the stress from that cold. So I'm pretty much making sure I keep them going. And like I said, folks, you see all the hives, they're bringing in pollen. They're bringing in resources. They're bringing in whatever they need because the colonies are growing. And they're working. They're not wasting time doing a cleansing flight. They're leaving the hive. They're going to find that good food. So I'm going to go in these hives and I'm going to give them a little bit of help with those resources that they need, that they're already getting. But it's going to get cold after a beautiful day today. Today's in the 50s and it's going to get real cold. So I'm trying to help them out so that they can keep growing and not slowing down. I'm going to pause it and I'm going to take a break from letting you see that, and I'm going to just show you what I'm going to be doing in a few minutes. But yeah, this is Farmer James. I'm just showing you a little glimpse of my bees, what they're doing. They're telling me that they're pretty strong as they're going to get those resources. They're actively getting those resources, and I'm not going to really do a lot today, folks, because it's going to get cold again and wet again, and the weather has not been on our side. So yeah, I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to come back and show you how I'm going to put those pollen patties on. So yeah, I have my smoker here. Also have some other things. And in my smoker, I have leaves. I have a little bit of different roughage I gathered from the forest. I like using this for my smoker. And then, as you see, this is my little bag, my tool bag. And in my tool bag, folks, I got my duct tape. I have some other goodies. I have my lighter. I have my Tyvek gloves to keep my hands protected. And this is my feed bag. Not getting paid any promotional anything for this, but I like to use the Apis Biologics. I like to use my Mega B. So I add these two as following the directions on the bags. You can sprinkle them in your feed, or you could add them right on top of these patties. And these are my protein patties right there, and those are my rocket fuel. So I like using the rocket fuel because I've had great results, just to say simply. So this is my tool bag right here, things I need. You know, my bee tool. I like using that long hive tool. At time like I got my duct tape for marking hives, give me notes. Have my smoker with my smoker fuel. And my smoker fuel is just leaves that I like to gather, and I like to just get those dry leaves right off the top. So that's what I'll usually do. Just grab those dry leaves right off the top. And that's what I use in my smoker for fuel. And then I'll get some more pine needles and so forth. And this is my card as I get to go over and see those ladies and what they're doing. But yeah, later on, folks, I'll come back. I'll probably be indoors because the weather's going to change. Also, next week, I'll give you an update, letting you know what's going on and so forth and so on. But yeah, yep, this is me, Farmer James. If you like what I'm saying, you know, subscribe, leave comments. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. I know there's a lot going on in the country with the weather. There's a lot going on with bees dying and living. I do have bees to work with, so that's a good thing. But yeah, get blessings that, you know, things are good today. You know, hopefully be a better day for those folks who aren't having a good day. They have better tomorrow. Again, this is Farmer James. I'm just sharing some beekeeping tips. I'm not showing you a lot today, but I'm talking about what I'm going to be doing today. Just showed you what food I'm adding to the bees. The reason I'm not really going into the colonies is because the weather in the mountains is still pretty cold. It's still the kind of weather I really don't like. I really don't want for the bees to stress out, so I'm not taking off wraps, any of that. We still have that roller coaster of temperatures, and that roller coaster is basically not a good one. Temperatures dropping below freezing, so forth. So as you saw, yeah, the bees are building up brood, so I want to keep that brood, that hive colony, stress-free, and the fluctuation in the temperature changes. So that's why I'm not doing any of the wrap and taking that stuff off, because I don't want it to be off at all. But yeah, please, hey, leave your comments. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Let me know what more I could say. I mean, right now, you know, it's not a lot happening up north. I'm not doing too much with my bees. That stuff will be down the road. Right now, I'm just keeping them strong and going. I don't do an essential oil treatment. I won't do a mite treatment. I'll let them do their thing. See how they grow. I'll do some more stuff about drones as I've been studying the last 2 weeks. That's why you haven't seen me. I've been either doing something on getting this phone fixed and or doing schoolwork. Right now in this Penn State, you know, Robin Underwood, a great professor, a great educator about bees, and now we're focusing on important drones, folks. And don't just use them as bait for the mites, all right? The drones are necessary. We'll talk about that later on. But again, hey, back to the bees, back to the beauties. I got to get to work and enjoy this sunshine. Farmer James, all you bee folks out there, stay strong, stay alive, be alive. Talk to you soon. Enjoy the bees. All right, bees are great. The bees are beautiful. You know, they keep me alive. They keep us alive. I don't just use the bees to make money, to stay alive. The bees are my spiritual guidance to keep us going, to keep us strong, to try me from doing a lot of stuff that's wrong. But I love bees. I love being a bee farmer. This is Farmer James. Thank you, folks. Be well.